Hello guys and welcome to the forest. In today's video, I'm going to be guessing the TCG cards for Generation 9, looking at the Pokemon Armorouge, Bellibolt, and Farigiraf in particular. Well, in the Pokemon TCG, if you look around, some Pokemon have specific gimmicks they keep on returning to based on their Pokedex or just the Pokemon in general. For example, Giratina gets a lot of Lost Zone type cards because Giratina is from a different realm, kind of like the Lost World. Therefore, a lot of Giratina's cards get reprinted with a gimmick referencing back to the Lost World. Dragapult is also a very good example of this. A lot of Dragapult cards have to do with its pre-evolution, especially Dreepy, because of how they interact in the Pokedex, saying that Dreepy loved to be shot from its cannons on its head. Now I'm gonna look at these Pokemon and look at their Pokedex entries and what abilities they have and signature attacks in order to try to guess what their Pokemon cards will probably end up being. Now I'm gonna start with Armorouge. Armorouge is a fire and psychic type, but I see this card being printed more often as a fire type to match its fiery color scheme. Its signature move, Armor Cannon, is probably what most of its attacks on the card or abilities will be based off of. I see this move being a very powerful one-hit move that has recoil because of how it drops the user's stats after using it. I can see it being similar to the attack that base set Zacian had, where the Pokemon cannot attack after using this move. I can also see it becoming a dreaded minus move where the card attack power is drastically reduced due to the number of prizes you have taken or another factor. And I think that another gimmick this card could also go into is because the Armorouge Pokedex entries talk about how it likes being a fair fighter, so it could have something to do with the number of prize cards left that either player can have or card size in hand, and that you can only attack or do more damage if the cards in your hands match. Now for Bellibolt, I'm actually very excited about the potential this Pokemon has in the TCG due to its signature ability, Electromorphous, because I can see that easily being turned into a way for the player to be able to charge up or increase the damage output that this Pokemon can deal. One way I can see this being implemented is an ability where it says if this Pokemon was damaged last turn by an opponent's attack, you get a boost in attack power like 20 or 30. Basically a free choice band. And I think that could be a very interesting dynamic that this Pokemon could bring to the TCG. I mean, it could also turn out very broken, but who knows, I think that would be really cool if that concept came to be. I also think it has a very high chance of having energy acceleration be part of either its attack or an ability, and if it was an ability, it would damage itself in order to accelerate energy onto the field, but more likely I can see it only accelerating energy to itself because its ability charges up its power and not necessarily the power of the Pokemon around it. Last but not least, we have Farigiraf, an evolution for our beloved but forgotten Girafarig. I think this one has an equal chance of being printed as a normal type or a psychic type, but whatever type it is printed in, I feel like it's going to fulfill the archetype of a stall or healing deck, because its two abilities lend it very well to be written as such. Its first ability, Armor Tail, has the potential of just becoming that reduces damage taken from opposing Pokemon, like those sad Zamazenta cards that everyone sees the ability and like, why is that being printed? I'm fairly certain Armor Tail will probably end up being in the same boat. I think an interesting look at this ability is if you attach like a metal energy, because the Pokedex entry talks about it being hard as steel. When you attach metal energy to it, it gives additional HP. I can also see Armor Tail being implemented as a coin flip invincibility ability, because they like reprinting those. Farigiraf presents a good opportunity for that to happen. Its other ability, Kudchu, I think it would be interesting that if they introduce an item alongside Farigiraf that just heals a certain amount of HP. It doesn't have to be super powerful, but I think it'd be cool to have a tool card that you can attach to Farigiraf. There's an attack that combos into it that doubles the effect of that usage, or just uses the effect again because Kudchu recycles the use of berries a turn after. I could also see it very well depends on what you have in the discard pile and recycling effects of healing cards found in your discard pile. I could also see Kachu being implemented as a once during your turn heal blank amount of HP from this Pokemon, maybe depending on factors such as cards used or energy attached to Farigiraf. Well, I hope you found this video very interesting and entertaining, and if you did, be sure to leave a comment and like this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the forest next time. Bye!